Hello, 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 hello. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Dreaming in Fashion. This is Marco, and this week we're going to discuss some things that happen within the fashion industry, or things that I may have come across, or things that someone may have sent to me that they thought that I should discuss. So, let's talk about it. So, the first thing up on my list is British Vogue. So, Edward Inningfield and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, also known as Meghan Markle, who I love, are doing 15 Forces for Change. Basically, what this magazine is doing is basically as taking 15 women from all walks of life, and they're asking them what changes they would like to see in the world. So I've heard some of the clips of some of the women. Laverne Cox was one that stood out to me because she is a trans woman, and I just like what she said. There's a few other people. There was so many that I really couldn't keep track of all the different women. There was some that I didn't even know who they were as well. But I'm really looking forward to that particular September issue to hear what every one of those women have said, that the things that they would like to see that would change, in the world. So still keeping with that theme, and the next person I'm gonna bring up, and also who's next on my list, in regards to what they would like to see change in the world, that person is Cardi B. Cardi B met up with Bernie Sanders. She was wearing this Fendi aqua green organza dress. She was very subtle. She wasn't the overly fashionable Cardi B that she normally is, like in her videos, and she's on red carpet when she's coming out the courthouse, different things like that. It was just very subtle, and you could tell that it was like a serious type of meeting, so she wanted to be taken seriously. She sat down with Bernie Sanders. I know that for a while she had been asking people, who do they think that she should endorse, or what questions they may have that she should ask somebody that's running for election in 2020, which is a good idea because there's so many different candidates that's running in 2020. You really can't get a feel for who is who and what their intentions really are. So I think that it was a good thing that she had the opportunity to sit down with Bernie Sanders. I'm not sure what they discussed, but I just like the idea that they were able to sit down and discuss politics. I like the union. I think it's like politics meet union, like politics meets fashion, which is a good union. But I think the time and the day and age that we live in now, where politics is meeting everything. All right. So next on my list is Paya Moss. Paya Moss is a new and upcoming designer. I wouldn't say he's new. I think that he's just been underground for so many years, and he's just now scratching the surface where people are just now kind of hearing his name ring out. I learned about Paya Moss maybe a couple of years ago when he did like this show in New York, talking about social injustices and the income inequality, and also some of his garments were reinforcing political commentary in fashion, which I think is great. And I think that's actually needed, as I just mentioned, like the thing with Cardi B. Same thing here. But just a little background about Paya Moss. He's also known as Kirby John Raymond. He studied fashion in like high school. He went to a fashion high school, which is something that I would always like to have done. Then after college, he ended up working in corporate America for AT&T. And then later he went on to study leather in Istanbul. And I guess as he came back and he started to make a name for himself, one of his particular jackets ended up on Rihanna, and that was kind of his big break. And things have kind of just taken off from there. I also recently saw where Reebok had just announced him as their artistic director for their newest division, and which I think that that's really good. He's an upcoming designer. He's African American, which we need to see that more in the fashion industry, just in general. And I think that he's doing great things. He's also nominated for the CFDA award, which is also a great, there's something that's great as well. All right, the next person on my list that I would like to bring up is none other than Miss Jordan Woods. Still keeping with that theme of new and fresh. Jordan Woods, she's like the new it girl now. She's landed a cover for Cosmopolitan for 2019. She's on the cover. From what I saw on that particular cover, some of the headlines were she's telling the truth, but she's not going to discuss kind of everything what's going on, from what my interpretation of what that was. So, she still respects Kylie as her best friend. She didn't put anything, I don't think that she's going to put anything negative or throw her under the bus or different things like that, but I think that she's going to tell truth, and which is truth is always a good thing. And I'm glad to see that Jordan is kind of stepping from behind the shadows of Kylie and, the Kardashians. She's kind of made a name for herself. And she took, I guess, a semi-bad situation and, made it into something good. Now, tell me if that doesn't sound familiar. All right. The next person that I'm going to discuss today is none other than Anna Wintour. I know that we discussed Anna Wintour last week with the whole thing with the first ladies and different things like that. Just on a different perspective, she met up with Donald Trump to talk about the import taxes and how it actually is a danger to the fashion industry. And if you don't understand what that means, well, because I am in fashion and I'm a designer and different things like that, with the import taxes, a lot of designers do a lot of mass production where they get their garments made in different countries, whether it's China, whether it's India. There's several different countries, and if there and from my understanding, there's a higher import taxes that Donald Trump is basically trying to pass or has passed. And Anna Wintour is basically saying, hey, this is a danger to my particular industry, because a lot of my designers don't make a lot of things here in the United States. They can get it at a cheaper cost in bulk overseas. So that particular thing hurts fashion in the fashion industry. So that's something to look out for within the fashion industry. So if that's really, really, truly enforced, the future of fashion, it may change. We may have to start bringing, manufacturers back to the States where things are being made, here, because it may just be too expensive to have them outsourced to another country. I personally, wouldn't mind being here where I could travel to the factories here and seeing things firsthand in person. But at the same time, I understand the purpose of things being outsourced in another country as well. Now, I take that back. I want to make another point here, and I just want to be clear about this. I don't agree with the sweatshops and different things like that in other countries. I do not agree with that at all. So, that's just that. I just wanted to put that out there so it's not misunderstood. The next person on my list that I would like to discuss, who's an icon in fashion, and every time I've seen her on red carpets, she's always slaying. She's always giving the younger generation of artists, music artists that is, a run for their money. And she never disappoints me whenever I see her on the red carpet. That is none other than Celine Dion. Yes, I did that. I love Celine. So Celine Dion, she always seems to give show-stopping looks. She's always dressed to the nines and the tens, if you ask me. Tens across the board, yes, tens. She always gives us something fresh for someone of her age. And I'm not trying to, make that seem any kind of way, but she always gives us something fresh. She always gives us something new. Every time I see her, she's always, she's always giving me like SLAYAGE every time I see her, just by the way that she the styling, just the way that is like, what's the word that I'm looking for? Is fashion forward and it's innovative, you know. So she landed the cover of Harper's Bazaar for the September issue. She was styled by, I want to say this is Karen Rotfield, and also it was shot by Mario Serini. So the photos were part of a larger spread that's going to be in the magazine, recognizing independent icons. So there's actors, musicians, and other artists who break rules and who inspire and set precedents. So I'm looking forward to seeing that particular issue and seeing, you know, what Celine is going to bring to the table. I know that each time that I've seen her, she's always slaying, like I said, on red carpets, photo shoots, and different things like that. Now, I forgot to add a point where I just want to go back to the whole thing with Anna Wintour and meeting Donald Trump. She also stated that she has such respect for Ivanka Trump and the things that she's achieved. I just find that ironic that, you know, she doesn't have any respect for the First Lady, but she respects what Ivanka Trump has done and the things that she has achieved. So I think that is, I mean, hey, each his own. I mean, I don't know much about Ivanka Trump. Maybe you guys can, you know, drop down in the comments, you know, on the YouTube channel. Just let me know, you know, some of the things that I know that she had a line in stores, and then, you know, with the whole controversy where her and her father, some of the lines got pulled from different stores. So just let me know some of the things, other things that she may have achieved. So, and just, you know, reach out to me and let me know. And the last thing on my list that I would like to discuss in general here is, so I came across this article on Instagram, and the article was about paid and unpaid internships. And I just wanted to take the time and do like a little discussion about that, because I was an intern and I remember what that experience was like at that particular time. Right after I graduated college, I worked as an intern for a particular designer in Orlando, Florida. And I was on a weekly stipend at the time, and I'll never forget. I was surprised that I was by the stipend amount that I was actually getting. Now, it wasn't enough to, per se, pay bills with, but it was enough to, you know, at that particular time, which was 2007, and it was good enough for me at that particular time until I got to that next phase of where I was going. You know, some people say that internships should be paid. Some people say internships shouldn't be paid. I think that internships should be paid. You should take care of your people who are coming to help create your vision, who believes in your brand, and who also want to learn from you. That's a great respect for somebody to come to you who want to be taught by you and trained by you, so that eventually one day that they can maybe either start their own, maybe they may work for you, or they may, you know, take over your particular company or be an apprentice or something like that. So I think that you should treat your workers or someone that's interning with you, you should treat them with, you know, you should pay them. You should give them money. You should give them a living wage at least. You know, they're coming to do all of that and they're spending all of their time with you to learn. Now, I do recall a time when I moved to New York City back in 2008, where I was in an internship, and internship didn't pay as much as my last internship that I did have. And that particular internship was, it was like kind of like an earn as you go type of thing. It was like I had to be out in the streets of New York, going to all these different retail stores and trying to get all these particular deals and negotiations for a particular brand. And if I got them to sign or endorse or get sponsorship or whatever it may have been, then I would get paid for it. But all the stuff leading up to it, I wasn't getting paid for. I wasn't given a stipend. I wasn't getting anything. But luckily, I had a part-time job at that particular time, so, you know, I wasn't hurting too bad. But That didn't last long with me because I'm the type of person where I like my money. And at that particular age that I was, when I was there, I was in my late 20s. Well, I take that back, in my mid 20s. And for me, having money to do what I needed to do was still important. So, and we also were in a recession at that particular time, if you guys remember, in 2008. So it was really important that I had something to make sure that I was taking care of myself. So to anybody else out there that's having someone as an intern, or if you're thinking about being an intern, please make sure that you're getting paid what you're worth. Don't settle. Make sure that you're not being short-ended. Yes, it's good to get that experience. Yes, it's good to learn from someone, get that networking piece and different things like that, but don't sell yourself short. Just make sure that you respect yourself and make sure that you get what you're worth. All right, guys, that is all of my actual topics that I had on this particular week. So if you guys see anything that you would like me to talk about within the fashion related, within the fashion industry, or things that that you, something that you just want me to see, that you think that I may have an opinion about, or you would like to just discuss in general, please feel free to reach out to me on social media at _dreaming-in-fashion. Also, you can reach me on YouTube at Sir O'Cram. Also, this podcast will be going up, on a weekly basis, and I will be coming to you guys with different topics and different things that I see. So make sure that you guys are subscribing. Make sure that you guys are following so that you don't miss any episodes. And thank you guys for listening, and you enjoy the rest of your day.